Somebody love me to get my girl. Check her out. Check her out. Now we got the big reveal. Now we can do the big reveal. And you have to excuse me if I come on talking because, you know, it be so much technicalities that you have to get situated before you log in over here on YouTube. We be talking over here on Twitch because she come in first. Say hello. Can you see him? She can't see you. Hold on, let me put my hand up. Say hello. Twitch, say hello to YouTube. YouTube, say hello. All right. Let me check what I did with that marker. Make sure that my address is scribbled out here before I, technically I could have just snatched her off. And speaking of Goodreads, I need to go on over there and update my little reading. Because we done already read Gucci Mane. He ain't on there. I need to go on over there and update my reviews. But she's here. She has made it. I'm telling you, I was having a panic attack. Because I'm like, she ain't gonna make it. I said I was only taking 2 weeks off after Gucci Mane. I was so excited to see her. I was so happy she came in the mail today. And so without further, because let me tell you something, I checked before I ordered the book, I actually had checked the library. Because I'm like, maybe I ain't got it. I checked the library and she ain't got it either. No library had her. She was all checked out, on hold 7 times. I'm like, and so I ordered this from Thrift Books. Kamala is up next. 107 days. We was gonna swing over there to Jennifer, Jen Saki. First of all, happy early birthday, because her birthday coming up on the 1st of December. She's turning 47. But I was online. Thank you for the thumbs up. I was online. I was trying to get the screenshot this evening. And tell me why Jen is over here giving her feedback about the book. Ma'am, no. Especially since I hadn't read the book. Ma'am, no. No. Leave your book review for Goodreads. That's why they have Goodreads. Whatever book you read or have read or is reading currently, finished, update that over there on Goodreads. I don't know if she was on somebody's podcast or she was doing some interview and, you know, she's talking about the book and, you know, giving her opinion and all that and stuff. I'm like, ma'am, I believe when I Googled you, you have a few books. She done wrote a book or two. So that's why I said, well, we may have to swing by Jen. Without further ado, oh, what is this? Hold on, let me see. Peek inside. We promise it's worth it. Oh my God, let me see. What's going on? Uh-oh. Now DoorDash, 40% off. Up to $10 on your first. Child, listen. You know you have to get at the people who DoorDash, honey, because oh, I got a bookmark. All that playing with my food. I'm like, don't worry about it. I just gonna eat it because I can't be doing all that breathing on my food. Oh my goodness. Check her out. And she is refurbished. I did not pay that $2 extra. Hold on, let me smell it. Hold on, let me see, because she might be new. Let me see. Oh, she is new. She is new. But you know, you can give it back and then they'll let somebody else, good is new. That's what it's called. Good is new. And so I saved $2 technically, the taxes or whatever. And so we're just gonna go ahead and get started without further ado, because I was gonna have a quick little story time. I may have to come in early tomorrow for that, because I know I hadn't updated about what had happened with that money order. But the way my blood pressure is set up nowadays, don't get me started. Don't get me started. And I know I had said, I was like, I need to make a separate update about what happened with the money order. Because I know that I had talked about it. And I know I had made like a YouTube short about it too. So I was like, listen, let me tell you something. It was me getting an envelope in the mail about, oh, well, we got your money order, but where your paperwork at? I said, so see, I'm not the only one that be on the mind games. Cause I'm like, how you, let's read the, don't get me distracted, everybody. Look, we're gonna read the open flap. We're gonna read the open flap. Thank you for the thumbs up. We're gonna read the open flap. Let's start with the back. Rachel Maddow, whatever, whoever that is. I believe I've heard that name before. And it says, praise for independent. Praise for independent. Let's read what she said. Quote, not your typical Washington book, exclamation point. Karine Jean-Pierre is not angling for her next big job in politics or trying to get you to vote for her. She's cutting a swath through the political class, telling blunt, gritty truths and sparing no one. As she encounters both perfidy and grace from unexpected sources in both parties, the media and the White House, Jean-Pierre's own story becomes infuriating and inspiring in equal measure. Independent is a truly new and valuable contribution to our understanding of the Biden presidency, the Harris candidacy. Give me a second, y'all, because she running through it, Lord. The Harris candidacy, the Trump's phenomenon, and the Democratic Party's whipsaw fortunes over the last decade. Since Rachel, this is a brave firecracker of a book. Well done. She said a lot. I see why she put it on the back, but good God. Okay, let me see. Perfidy. That's a new word, honey. When we get new words, we have to make a vocabulary list. Perfidy. Let me cut it down. What is perfidy? Let me go look it up. I don't like to just be skipping over words and I don't know what it means. Perfidy. Perfidy. And then I have to delete out of all this stuff because, I have to shut the iPad. Okay, let's look up perfidy. Rachel with all this. Okay, deceitfulness, untrustworthy. Hold on, give me a second. Let me get out of that. She ain't even, oh, of course, I'm on FaceTime, so she's not. Perfidy. And it is a noun. Interesting. Okay. Perfidy. Not your typical Washington book. Karine Jean-Pierre is not angling for her next big job in politics or trying to get you to vote for her. What is vote for her? What does that mean? Is she running for something? Oh, I guess that's just me. Like, okay. She's cutting a swath through the political class, telling blunt, gritty truths, and sparing no one. As she encounters both perfidy and grace from unexpected sources in both parties, the media and the White House. That was supposed to be a colon. I mean, a semicolon. If you got like 3 commas here. In both parties, the media and the White House, Jean-Pierre's own story becomes infuriating and inspiring in equal measure. Independent is a truly new and valuable contribution to our understanding of the Biden presidency, the Harris candidacy, the Trump phenomenon, and the Democratic Party's whipsaw fortunes. The Democratic Party's whipsaw fortunes. I wish you would have snowed that together, hyphened that together. So, whipsaw fortunes over the last decade. This is a brave firecracker of a book. Well done. Okay, let me read the inside flap. Ooh. Ooh. Get your little crease in there, honey. Okay, a groundbreaking revelatory assessment of America's broken two-party system. In a country obsessed with blind loyalty to a two-party democratic system, Karine, who's writing this? Hold on, real quick, because you know it's like it's in the front and the back. Continue from the first flap. Okay. I don't know who wrote this one, but let me see. I thought it would have had like a quote from some. In a country obsessed with blind loyalty to a two-party democratic system, Karine Jean-Pierre, former White House press secretary to the Biden-Harris administration, shares why Americans must step beyond party lines to embrace life as independents. Must step beyond party lines to embrace life as independents. Jean-Pierre didn't come to her decision to be an independent lightly. She has served 2 American presidents, Obama and Biden. In 2020, she joined Biden's campaign as a senior advisor, becoming Harris's chief of staff, and then 2 years later, the White House press secretary. She takes us through the 3 weeks that led to Biden's abandonment of his bid for a second term and the betrayal by the Democratic Party that led to his decision. Not the betrayal. In an urgent, timely analysis, Independent asks all Americans to vote their values and maintain their individuality within party lines. She presents clear arguments and provocative evidence from her time as an insider about the importance of dismantling the torrent of disinformation and misinformation that has been rampant during recent elections. And she provides passionate insight for ways to move forward. In a hard-hitting yet hopeful critique, Jean-Pierre defines what it means to be part of the growing percentage of our fractured electorate. Yes, I think that's electorate. Yes, electorate. Jeez. That is independent, which is the name of the book, Independent. I guess I should have put that as the title, Independent. A look inside the broken White House. I just kept saying the broken White House. I should have put Independent. I'll go back and fix it. And then if I keep saying independent, that's the name of the book. So explains, okay, hold on. Explains why it can be worthwhile to carve oneself a political ideology true to personal beliefs rather than a party affiliation, and provides the questions you need to ask yourself to determine where you fit politically. As a history maker, veteran public servant, political analyst, and independent thinker, she urges Americans to think outside of the blue and red box as we consider what's next to save our democracy. This is very interesting and very timely as well, since they was playing with their food stamps. Like this is right on time for me. And I don't know what Jen Psaki was talking about. But like I said, tell her keep her comment first. Tell her happy early birthday for one, and then tell her to keep her book review over there on Goodreads. Don't do that. All right, and now we have the introduction. Let me see how many pages we got, and then okay, we got about, what was that? Three turns. We can read the introduction. Let me see what's going on with chapter 1, and then I don't know what font this is. Oh, is this Arial? Is that Arial? I can't remember what font this is. This is... I forgot whose font that is. Is that Times New Roman? Is it Times? I can't really tell. How many pages is chapter 1? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. Let me put a bookmark right there. I don't know how much we're gonna get through. Because then I have to go back and edit it. You know, the description box. Okay, we read this much. But we'll see. We'll see. Okay, let's just get through the introduction real quick. Excuse me. Let me get me some water. What time is it? Pushing 12. Okay. This is the introduction. A Declaration of Independence. Let me fix my table real quick. Our democracy is in the middle of a 5-alarm fire. Let's just dissect that first line. A 5-alarm fire. I don't want my throat to get dry. Our democracy is in the middle of a 5-alarm fire. Donald Trump wasted no time plunging our country into chaos when he returned to the White House in January 2025. That's sentence number 2. Dang. Oh, man. Now I see what Jen was talking about. Oh, man, I've only read 2 sentences of the book, and I already see what Jen was talking about. Dang. Let's just get through it. Let's just get through it. Now I see what you're talking about. Now I see. Dang. And I was trying to make her into a critiquer. I was like, you critique. And I'm like, nah, I see what she talking about. If you line two is talking about Donald Trump in 2025, I'm like, ma'am, you supposed to be starting back there in 2020 with Biden. That was your administration. There's no reason for you to start your book 2 lines, second sentence, and you're talking about Donald Trump in 2025. I'm like, oh, now I see what Jen was talking about, and I kept you see how I kept saying it. I'm like, I was just trying to get the. He allowed his unelected billionaire donor, Elon Musk, to fire tens of thousands of federal workers, selected some of the most unqualified picks in memory to cripple departments charged with safeguarding our food, our air travel, our security, our privacy, and our water. And turned the deportation of undocumented migrants into a twisted reality show. As horrified as I am by such craveness and cruelty, I've learned how to keep my cool in the face of turmoil. I'd worked as a campaign director, political advisor, and then, in the most high wire act of all, White House press secretary. It was my job to remain level headed and focused in the most stressful of circumstances. Despite the pressure of my position, I appreciated dealing with the president I served. Unlike Trump, Joe Biden was a man of empathy and generosity, the type of boss who, despite being the leader of the free world, referred to himself simply as Joe, while envisioning a nation that embraced its diversity rather than vilified it. We shared the belief in a society where there was ample opportunity for everyone, not just for a privileged few. Being the first Black person, immigrant, and openly queer woman to be a spokesperson for the President of the United States was a historic role and tremendous honor. But it also meant I spent 4 years speaking for someone else. I had to hold my tongue, stifle my words, and be ever mindful, whether I was chatting with parents at a child's school or sipping tea among strangers at a neighborhood coffee shop. Now, as our democracy hangs in the balance, those days of channeling the thoughts and decisions of others are over. I am free to speak for myself, ready to tell what I've seen, and eager to say what I think. Let me take a break. Hold on, give me a second, cause I'm gonna go ahead and get me another bottle of water. For 3 wrenching weeks in July 2024, I watched the Democratic Party, my political home, tear itself apart. For 24 days, following a faltering performance by President Biden in a debate against his Republican rival, I watched Democratic leadership abandon and in the end betray a man who'd led our country through a pandemic and a time of historic political turmoil. Lawmakers Biden supported and called friends lined up behind his back and in front of cameras to say he wasn't fit to seek another term. And every day I was the person who went to the podium to take questions about Biden's mental, is that acuity? All the while wondering why such questions inexplicably eluded the dangerous man seeking the presidency on the other side of the political aisle. I mean, don't act like you didn't watch the debate, Karine. I mean, then I saw the party somehow fumble the ball again when Biden left the race and his vice president, Kamala Harris, became the nominee. Somehow it was unable to help a trailblazing, extremely accomplished former prosecutor who wanted to uplift everyone in our society defeat Trump. A habitual liar and convicted felon who openly embraced the politics of cruelty. After her loss, I met people at the bank, in the airport, on the street, who wanted to know where to go from here. Quote, I really felt she had it, one stranger told me. People were so excited, and he was so terrible. Now I don't know what to think about my neighbors, about my country. What could they do? How could they fight? Many are wondering how we as a nation pull back from the brink, regain our footing, and move toward empathy, away from the callousness that has ripped our society at the seams. The Democratic Party also has some questions to ask itself about why it failed to connect with the millions of Americans who didn't even bother to show up at the polls, and why it couldn't articulate the achievements of the Biden-Harris administration well enough to get Harris across the finish line and into the White House. She getting a little snappy there, ain't she? Why it couldn't articulate the achievement. What does it represent? Who does it stand for? And is it meeting the urgency of the moment? Because these are not ordinary times. The Democrats' blue tent that once felt big enough to hold all the pieces of a Black queer immigrant woman like me has collapsed. And such uncertainties have brought me to a question of my own. Do I remain with a party that no longer fights for the ideals that matter most to me and the communities to which I belong? Now that I can speak fully from the heart, I have an answer. After being a party insider for 20 years, I now believe I can fight harder for my country from outside the Democratic Party than from within it. From here on, I am politically an independent. Before the summer of 2024, leaving the Democratic Party was a step I never could have imagined taking. But the danger we face as a country requires freeing ourselves of boxes, be they red or blue, to restore reproductive rights. We need the ability to think creatively, to protect immigrants. We need to move nimbly. To salvage our climate, we need to plan strategically. We need to be clear eyed and questioning, not blindly loyal and obedient. Child, these paragraphs, honey, got you sitting up straight. The path I'm choosing to walk is marked by a fine line. The Republican Party, whose extreme rhetoric and actions pump bile into our political bloodstreams. Oh, goodness, here you go. Hold on. Give me a second. Let me read it again. I gotta slow down. When she said whose extreme rhetoric, and actions, okay, put a comma there. Stop running into words like this. The Republican Party, comma, okay. She got a comma there, but everything else is just ran through. Whose extreme rhetoric and actions pump bile into our political bloodstream. It's not an option for anyone who wants a society that's compassionate and fair. Democrats, who've fought for a woman's right to choose, the queer community to live with dignity, and our planet to be protected, remain the political collective whose priorities I'm most aligned with. But I no longer want to be officially affiliated with a party whose leadership has been so incredibly disappointing in the way it treated Biden, in the way it quietly hazed Harris, and more recently, in the way it has responded to the Republican assault on our democracy in a shockingly weak manner, veering from shambling to shambolic. I also no longer want people to look at me and automatically assume I'm a Democrat because of my gender and the color of my skin. I want to put Democrats on notice that if you want me to knock on doors, dig deep to donate money, and fill in the bubble on the ballot marked with the letter D, we have to talk. I want Democrats to earn my vote, to fight for it the way I and so many Black women have fought for them, sacrificing our safety, strength, and time. I want to be listened to, convinced, and courted like other constituencies that have been far less committed. We deserve for our voices to be acknowledged, not just at the beginning of an election season, but on the eve of election day and in all the weeks that unfold in between. In an era of rampant disinformation and regressive social policies, I'm choosing what I champion based on my own compass and not guideposts set by an out-of-touch leadership working from an outdated playbook. Out-of-touch leadership working from an outdated playbook. She wrote this intro about 3, 4 in the morning, honey. Just, you know how you wake up out your sleep and you be like, you know what, I got some shit on my chest. And I'm willing to fight alongside anyone who shares my goals and principles, no matter how they identify politically, so long as they treat me and the communities I love with respect. My political evolution mirrors my inner journey. It's about staying true to myself in the face of tremendous pressure to conform. A force we all face, whether from a political party, a Facebook feed, or the space where we earn our living. In the waning days of 2024, I came full circle, my political life ready to reflect the independent metal that has guided me since I was a little girl in New York City, forging my own way. To be politically independent is to be unaffiliated with any party, free to cast your vote depending on the individual candidate or issue, rather than in allegiance to a dictated party line. Texas businessman Ross Perot, whatever that is, Perot, ran as an independent in the 1992 political race, garnering the best showing by a candidate outside of a major party in 80 years. Bernie Sanders. Let me look it up because she is doing a lot with these words, honey. You know, let me look it up before I get to it. Come over here. You got me leaning. What is it again? My goodness. Irascible. IRAS. What is that? Cut it up so I can hear. Oh. Irascible. I said that. Irascible. Okay. I just wanted to make sure. Look, now I don't have my baby monitor on. Fooling with her. What does it mean? Damn. Goodness. That's because the girls have their iPad. So I don't have. Well, how do you spell it again? SC. Okay. What does it mean? Having or showing a tendency to be easily angered. Adjective. Irascible. The irascible Vermont senator, that's Bernie. Oh, easily angered. Bernie. She throwing shade. she, she throwing shade, Bernie. The irascible Bernie Sanders, Vermont senator whose defense of the working class has earned him a national following, also officially stands outside the Democratic and Republican parties. MSNBC host Joe Scarborough, or Scarborough, whatever, okay, a former Republican congressman, is one of many one-time members of the GOP who, disillusioned with that party's shift toward Trump, now considers himself an independent. Okay, so we have Bernie Sanders, Ross. Okay, Ross was the first. And then Bernie Sanders, national vote, also officially stands outside the Democratic. Okay, so Bernie Sanders is an independent. MSNBC host Joe Scarborough, a former Republican congressman, is one of many one-time members of the GOP who, disillusioned with that party's shift toward Trump, now considers himself okay. And media mogul Oprah Winfrey is also officially neither a Democrat nor Republican. Oh, interesting. Okay. There are also those who may take on an independent mantle as a means of convenience, as a way to hold on to or chase political power when they don't have a feasible path through one of the two mainstream parties. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., for instance, despite being a scion, let me see what that is. Um, I will look up a word. Let me see what it is. A scion? Is it a scion? Honey, give me the pronunciation, please. Did you give me the pronunciation? Oh, okay. It's scion. Scion. Okay. Um, a detached living. Oh Lord. Oh, a descendant of a wealthy, aristocratic, or influential family. Okay. Okay. Yeah. That's RFJ. Okay. RFK Junior. Okay. Despite being a scion, is that's what we had? Scion. Okay. Sci. Like science. Okay. Scion. Mm-hmm. Of a Democratic dynasty, squandered much of his credibility during his years as a vocal opponent of vaccines. Unable to gain traction when he sought the Democratic presidential nomination in the 2024 election, Kennedy ran as an independent before ultimately dropping out and throwing his support behind Trump. Similarly, New York City Mayor Eric Adams is a Democrat who has switched political affiliations like a race car driver changes gears. I told her she wrote it at 3 o'clock in the morning. For a 7 year span starting in the mid 90s, Adams was officially a member of the GOP. By the time he became New York's mayor in 2022, he was back on the fold of the Democratic Party. Then, facing the strong likelihood that voters would reject his bid to once again be the Democratic mayoral nominee, Adams announced in April 2025 that he would seek a second term running as an independent. Well, we see how that played out. Despite those examples, what is this? Expediency? I think that's expediency. Expediency is not the typical reason people decide to become politically independent. To choose an independent path is freeing, with possibilities that I will delve into further as I share my journey. I'm not suggesting that everyone follow my lead and become an independent. Each of us has our own decisions to make about how we respond to a political moment that has left so many demoralized and afraid. Demor- She's so extra. She's so extra. Demoralized and afraid. I also realize it's not easy to go against the grain, to etch a political life outside the lines and demand accountability that may distance you from people you respect or love. But I ask you to try to flex your individuality like a muscle, standing firm in your purpose, holding fast when others push you to just go along. I hope that my choice, particularly as someone who was once a Democratic insider, inspires more nuanced political conversations and a reimagining of the alliances and actions that can create a society truly supportive of all. When you're officially enmeshed in a party, you're expected to fall in line, which is why I can be a greater force for change, advocating from the outside. Being independent will allow me to speak more freely, to stay true to my core beliefs, no matter the leadership's talking points. Yes, I know we said 2016 was the most election of our lifetimes, was the most important election of our lifetimes. Then we sounded the alarm again in 2018 and in 2020 and yet again in 2024. And now, as I write this, with the 2026 midterms upon us, that is the urgent message delivered once again as we find ourselves on the edge of yet another campaign season. But here's the thing, we're not crying wolf. We're not being unnecessarily hyperbolic, nor do we deserve skepticism when we repeat ourselves. While the last few elections have been especially fraught with Trump and politicians who follow his belligerent, divisive playbook seeking office, every election is critical because democracy is an ongoing commitment. Every vote is a brick in the foundation. Every cycle is a test. Politics isn't something that lasts for only a brief season that comes around every 2 or 4 or 6 years. Democracy doesn't begin or end with any one leader or party. It begins and can end with you, with us. The work never stops because democracy is never truly safe. To keep it viable, we need to be ever vigilant, constantly in motion, making sure that our rights are protected while questioning, bracing, and strengthening the institutional pillars of a democratic way of life, be it the media, our courts, Congress, or the presidency. Our republic doesn't automatically renew itself. Allow me to quickly break down what's at stake. All 435 seats in the U.S. House of Representatives will be up for grabs, as will roughly 33 seats in the Senate, enough to shift the balance of power back from the GOP to the Democrats. There will be a there will be 36 governorships on the ballot as well. In addition, countless state legislatures, school boards, judgeships, and local offices will be in contention. The array of races from the federal level to the local will have profound implications on our collective rights and freedoms. Whether you're a queer person who wants to be able to love freely, a parent who wants to ensure you and your children can access affordable, quality health care, or an educator who wants to offer young minds an honest rendering of history. We're so much more than parties and labels, factions and tribes. Our democracy is in danger. Each day brings another outrage. Each executive order, another shattering of norms. Yet, despite it all, I'm hopeful. We can do what seems impossible when we prioritize people over politics, purpose over power. That same independent spirit can ripple out. Give me a second. Give me a second. That same independent spirit can ripple out to other aspects of our lives. Our individual determination can create a collective force powerful enough to shape a society that's ultimately more resilient, just, and caring than the one we had before. I want to offer an invitation to anyone who wants to build a society beyond silos. Silos? I don't know. Let me look it up. Cause we on to the last sentence. Silos to silos. Let's see. SILOS. Let me see how you pronounce it, because it go AI every time you type something into Google. The pronunciation real quick.
Translate.
Oh, silos. Is it say?
Silos.
Oh, it's silos. Okay. And what does it mean? Real quick. What does silos mean? I should have read the definition. Large cylindrical structures. What did she say? Oh, build a society beyond silos. Business internal structure where departments or teams work in isolation. Information or data. Okay, bulk storage. I want to offer an invitation to anyone who wants to build a society beyond silos. But I'm not getting no definition in a departments or team within an organization that operate independently. Okay, hindering communication and data sharing with other parts of the business. Okay, a metaphorical sense. Silos or a silo mentality describe departments or teams within an organization that operate independently. Okay. To mend a fractured polity. Oh my goodness. I can't deal with her in these words. Polity. Polity, okay. Form or process of civil government. Okay. We gonna have vocabulary words for sure. Polity. Okay. We need coalitions. In an era when political disagreement has become akin to a blood feud, choosing political independence is a revolutionary act. I think it's the font that's really kind of like it's doing something to me. I don't know. It has to be the font. It has to be. Okay, that was the end of the introduction. It was only like, okay, and then we'll just come back tomorrow and start on chapter 1. Take our time with that. I'm gonna go over the vocabulary words and I'll put them in the description box. So that way we can keep up with them, because she's giving us some vocabulary words and stuff that we gotta work on. Here's your scissors.
What is you done reading your book?
Ma'am, no, I'm not done. I'm done reading the part that I wanted to read. That was it.
Oh, so what's the matter? Walking to use the bathroom. Then I saw your door a little open. So then we walked up front. When I tried to turn the light on, it was already on. And I heard you talking. So we rushed back to use the bathroom and ran back.
Okay, well,
It's like a Christmas meme. Hello. I'm a little dog.
okay, well, I'm wrapping it up here.
Can we get a snack?
What snack? It's my time. I'm coming up on an hour. Okay, in the meantime, in between time. Okay, y'all are here. Y'all can say bye.
Wow, so fast.
Well, I was done. I already been back here. As soon as I put everybody to sleep, I just came on back here because I didn't want to be back here all night.
You put everyone to sleep.
Well, I mean,
That's cool. Bye. 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 I'll go to the next video. Next video. Bye. Don't say it. Bye to the next video. Bye. Bye. See you next time. See you next time. See you next time, everyone.
You can put your scissors up. I'm down with them.
Can I click it?
It's just the X up there at the top.
Here? Click. Mommy, every time when I go on YouTube to watch one of your live videos, I don't see it.
Uh-oh.
Click.
Oh, I think it's this one. Sorry, that one's a part of the screenshot. So sorry.